Hi, I'm Hermes Frangoudis, Senior Developer Evangelist with Agora. I lead a team focused on building guides and tutorials showing developers how to add real-time engagement such as voice, video, and real-time messaging to their applications using Agora.io. And I'm here today to talk about developing with VIVE and adding real-time engagement to your virtual reality apps. As the VR and XR market grows, it will demand innovation across both consumer and enterprise verticals. The Agora HTC partnership comes at a pivotal moment to enhance the cutting-edge metaverse use cases with the collaborative power of real-time engagement. Let's unpack that statement. In the early days of VR, it was very much a single-person experience. So if you weren't wearing the VR headset, the only way you could participate is to passively watch, generally by being in the same room, looking at a TV that shows the virtual world directly from the HMD's perspective, pulling the audio and video streams directly from the computer powering device. As VR evolved, it became more collaborative, allowing people to put on their headsets, get transported into a virtual world where they could see and interact with other VR users. This type of real-time engagement was groundbreaking in the virtual collaborative space. There's only one problem with this momentous shift. It still created a very high barrier to entry for those that didn't own a headset. It created a group of haves and have-nots, separating users. The people with the headsets were able to put them on, enjoy, interact with other users, where the people without the HMDs were once again regulated to the sidelines, sitting in the same room, or possibly however far the HDMI cable takes you. So why does this lack of accessibility matter? As the business world went remote, communication, collaboration, training all went virtual in one way or another. In both physical and virtual worlds, communication, collaboration, and training tools need to be flexible. So overnight, telepresence became a requirement. So how does this look in VR? In the physical world, we saw the shift from working, meeting, engaging locally to joining meetings remotely, where everyone is now remote. But in the virtual space, there's no real concept of remote and local users. Everyone is in VR, engaging locally. Once you put on your HMD, you're instantly transported to the virtual world where physical distances don't matter. If physical distance no longer defines remote versus local, what does? In VR, the differentiator between remote and local is actually physical versus virtual. And just like with the early days of remote work in the physical world, remotely joining VR still has a lot of barriers. Such things as, how do you allow non-VR users to participate and actively engage in VR? How do you make the VR experience more immersive? Next level immersion is engagement without barriers. What's that look like? It looks like this. In the virtual world, someone could hold a meeting with people from outside the virtual world, where people remotely join, streaming their voice, video, and even their screen if necessary. And this is where Agora can help. Any device, any network quality, lowering the barrier for engagement. This is what true digital ubiquity looks like. So what is Agora? Agora is a real-time engagement platform as a service. As fancy as the name sounds, at its core, it's a real-time network and a set of SDKs and APIs that make implementing real-time voice, video, and messaging as simple as possible. Developers and tech teams can build with confidence without having to worry about the intricacies of backend networking and scaling infrastructure as your product grows. Agora's network is built upon two core principles: scalability and low latency. These also happen to be two of the many advantages of Agora's network versus the public internet. To appreciate what that means, we have to keep in mind that the public internet is a patchwork of networks that follow a way of communicating. So it was designed to scale, but without any regard to the efficiency in the number of hops, handshakes, or the network congestion between the devices. Ultimately, this leads to increases in latency. In VR, it's important to have the lowest latency possible because it's paramount to making interactions feel fluid and realistic. And Agora can provide that low latency Because of its globally dispersed 200 plus data centers, they use industry-leading smart routing to ensure the most efficient path between devices and ensure the lowest latency. Agora's network also features industry-leading anti-packet loss technology that allows for voice and video to stream fluid regardless of network conditions. Aside from low latency, the other thing that matters in VR is scalability. Agora's network supports over 40 billion minutes of usage per month, and Agora's SDKs provide a variety of different use cases for people to connect, whether it be one-to-one or small group chat, or even live streams with over 1 million people. Agora is there to scale with you and your product. Agora's products enable a wide variety of use cases, ranging from education to social to remote collaboration and virtual training, just to name a few. But what really sets Agora apart from traditional streaming technology is that it's real time. In traditional streaming technology, real time meant generally about 3 to 7 seconds worth of delay. Not bad for passive consumption, but that's truly unacceptable for a conversation or asking questions or providing feedback in real time. Traditional video streaming flows in a single direction, from creator to a consumer. Agora allows for two-way communication, where everyone can see and hear each other and communicate in real time. Agora empowers developers building with the Wave 4.0 SDK to remove the barriers for real-time engagement within their applications. Using Agora's products alongside the HTC Wave 4.0 SDK allows developers to really remove the barriers within the enterprise. By integrating into existing enterprise applications, you can easily bring VR into the conversation, into your existing tools. No longer do you have to have separate tools for VR and non-VR. Now you can blur the line and really help grow and scale the influence that VR has within the enterprise. Agora offers both an Unreal and Unity SDK to make building real-time engagement into the virtual environment as simple as possible. But we also allow developers to build for Android, iOS, macOS, Windows, and web. We even offer other cross-platform SDKs such as React Native and Flutter. With all these SDKs, Agora makes it really easy for developers to add real-time engagement both to their VR apps and non-VR apps, and really scale VR within the enterprise by connecting users across existing tools and into new tools. So how can you add real-time engagement to your VR app? As I mentioned earlier, I focus on building guides and tutorials for next-gen platforms such as VR for developers to help them integrate real-time engagement into their apps. To celebrate the Wave 4.0 release and the release of the new HTC VIVE headsets, I've created a guide that shows you how to easily integrate the new Wave 4.0 SDK along with the Agora Video for Unity SDK that's available through the Unity Asset Store. In the guide, I'll walk you through how to set up the project using both Wave and Agora, how to create a 3D environment, along with how to implement Agora using our virtual camera prefab. The prefab makes it easy for you to quickly drag and drop it into your scene and get going with Agora without having to write any code. Simply add the prefab to your scene, add your Agora app ID, the channel name, and then drag over your virtual camera, your render texture, and the root nodes of where you'd like your remote videos to show up. And that'll quickly get you started with rendering your virtual camera into the channel. I'll also show you how to connect non-VR users through a web-based interface to make it really easy to connect users from the VR and non-VR space and make a really, truly ubiquitous digital experience. If you'd like to try it out, scan the QR code on the screen and give it a go. Thanks for your time today. I'd also like to thank Dario and the HTC team for the opportunity to be part of ViveCon 2021. If you'd like to learn more about Agora, please visit agora.io. If you'd like to connect, feel free to reach out via Twitter or LinkedIn, and I look forward to seeing all the virtual real-time engagement apps that everyone builds using HTC Vive and the Wave 4.0 SDK.